Boom! What's going on, guys? Energy News Beat, episode number 175, here on this gorgeous Wednesday, December 9th, 2020. As always, I'm your humble correspondent, Michael Tanner, coming to you from an undisclosed location here in Denver, Colorado, joined by the executive producer of the show, the purveyor of the show, the director and publisher of the world's greatest website, oilandgas360.com, Stuart Turley. How you doing today?
It's a beautiful day in the Ozarks.
It's a great day, and we are coming to you for the first time in the morning because guess what, guys? I was too tired to shoot a show yesterday. We were sitting in the chair probably from about 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time to about 4 p.m. Mountain Standard Time producing a conference. If you haven't checked it out, go to oilandgas360.com, go to our Energy Insights page. The American Association of Blacks Energy is hosting a energy policy summit that's on our website. Highly recommend registering. You can find out all the details on our Energy Insights page, but that's what we were doing yesterday. So today and tomorrow, you're going to see videos drop in the morning. We'll be covering what happened yesterday and rolling over in the future session tonight. You can see what we're going to cover on the rundown here. We'll cover all of that in a bag of chips. But first, guys, thanks for subscribing to our YouTube channel, Oil and Gas 360 / Intercom. We really appreciate all the support. When we look at, so yesterday, a couple things. We had about a 100-point dive yesterday in stocks off a couple things. I think some of the bearish or some of the bullish news on vaccine rollout in Europe and some of the stimulus package, I think is just getting a little blown. Remember this, the rumor, buy the rumor, sell the news. Well, the problem is the rumor dropped last week. And so now the optimism that's quote unquote happening, yesterday, or the optimism that was carrying us on Monday, carried us on Friday, didn't quite carry us yesterday. Only about 100 points. The 30 stock Dow closed just below its Friday records. I mean, there's still some bullish sentiment moving forward. I think one of the biggest things that's going to help is the fact that stimulus is probably going to happen. As we mentioned, the government's going to run out of money on Friday, quote unquote. They're not really going to run out of money. What's going to happen is there's going to be a redetermination of how much cash they're going to be able to have. And that probably is going to include some sort of PPE, hopefully for those small and medium-sized businesses who have absolutely been whacked. When we roll over and just look at how indices are performing right now, NASDAQ is going to open about 0.25 percentage point down. ES is going to open up about 0.2 percentage point on the upside. It's very interesting. Tech stocks down in this case. Crude oil futures contract about 0.5 percentage point, 45.86. After taking really a dive yesterday off some pretty bearish API news, we'll cover that. Back end of the curve, about 0.25 percentage point on the upside, 45.85. So you want to talk about a flat curve, Stu? It's about as flat as we can get. The curve is planking. We're now planking on crude oil and gas. Natural gas, 2 percentage points on the upside, still $2.51 though. I will continue to laugh every time I read that index. $2.4 percentage points on the back end of the curve, $2.75. XOP, which is our E&P securities contract, 59.87. That was up 1.5% yesterday, leading actually the S&P 500, which is pretty easy. Oilfield services was actually at 2.75 percentage points. If there's going to be stimulus money, oilfield service and E&P companies need that cash. They're one of the biggest suppliers. I read an article yesterday. It's over 90,000 jobs, according to a Haynes and Boone study, that was saved by coronavirus. Oilfield service specifically. We're not just talking about oilfield. This oilfield service over 90,000. I mean, when we talked in June, that number was 90,000 total. So now to include that number is just ballooned to 90,000 oilfield service. Hearts go out to anybody who's been, but those indices are going to go. Hopefully, they can start hiring and giving. Let's cover some equities quick on the downside. Prime Energy Resources was up 6 percentage points. Sanchez Midstream, gotta love those guys. They were up. They were up about 62 cents. Or 262 cents, about 4 percentage points. Abrejos up 6 percentage points. California Resources Corporation down 8 percentage points. They're going to continue to get pounded as these lockdowns just continue to roll in on California. That's really what you're talking about. You're going to see CRC down recently. If the more lockdowns that go in, CRC is a primary seller of gas and oil in California. They don't export a lot of the oil that's usually sold in there. So you're going to see them get hit really hard by a lot of these changes. On the upside here, we got a couple things. QEP up 11 percentage points, Callan up 12 percentage points, Contura up 17 percentage points, Grand Terra up 25 percentage points, Coal Peabody's up 33 percentage points. So pretty decent day. And before we dive into the international news desk, guys, I need to tell you that the show is powered by Data Gumbo, an award-winning technology company with customers all around the world who build, manage, and automate their own smart contracts. Data Gumbo's smart contracts offer a new approach to the commercial relationship, one that reduces friction to deliver streamlined operations, increase transactional certainty, and increase cost savings. Every transaction is accurate, certain, touchless, and automated and powered via the Gumbo Net. Go get yourself a big helping of Data Gumbo via their website, www.datagumbo.com. Stu, internationally, what do we got this morning?
We got a couple things, Michael. And first off, I want to give a shout out to the Abe folks yesterday. All of the Abe team just busted their bahunkus, and it's a great event.
We got one more
Um,
day, so let's pray internet don't crash on us.
oh man, don't be doing those bad things there. Okay, Global Infrastructure Partners doing some serious
Yep.
investing around the world. I read this and I want to take a look at their financial statements. Global Infrastructure Partners announced 2.8 billion final closings of its two credit funds. These funds go after midstream energy, power, and guess what? Your favorite infrastructure midstream.
There you
So
go. But you notice
yeah,
what's not, what's not in that list? Upstream E&P assets.
absolutely not. And it's around the world. I was looking at their financial information, and Global Infrastructure Partners, we are not financial folks, but it looks like they do a great combination between green, midstream, and taking care of people around the world. 2.8 billion global infrastructure. I thought it was a great article. Okay, coming around the corner, we're coming into China. We know that with green energy and Elton Musk and everybody, there's
Elton
China.
Musk. Did you hear he's moving to Texas now? You guys are going to be
Oh,
Texicans together.
oh, actually, yeah, he won't even talk to me. I love him, but he doesn't know who I am. Okay, Arcadia Minerals. Here's our beautiful graphics department here. They are actually up in the U.S. in Wyoming. There is such a national security by letting all of the minerals go around the world and children
Yep.
digging in ditches. This is a horrible crime against humanity. So I am glad that we are bringing this in. Arcadia Minerals is getting some really good thing. Our folks over at Intercom have also been engaged to assist in identifying potential joint venture partners for this. This is really a good idea from the standpoint of national security, getting our batteries, getting our all of our green stuff here.
Yeah, because isn't China one of the biggest suppliers? China and Africa are two of the biggest suppliers of rare earth minerals.
And they are not going to let all of our green energy go forward. You think that they're going to even do it with a new administration? Nah, China is not good about that. Project is simple open pit mine with 33 million delineated tons that will utilize well proven wet magnetic separation, low cost. Outstanding teamwork from Intercom. I think you can go check that out, and it's even got contact information in there. Anyway, that's it from around the world, and we are thrilled to have a great day today.
We're gonna have a great day today. Love me a good open pit mine. Nothing better than that.
Hey,
When we,
national security,
I feel
national
you. I
security.
feel you. I feel you. Couple things here on the U.S. side. Crude futures are up, as I mentioned, about 0.6 of a percentage point, but slipped yesterday off highs from about 46.20 due to the fact that the API released on December 8th about a 1.141 million barrel increase. So not unfortunately what you want to see, but expected slightly just because of the fact that California is going into the lockdown. I think the other news that will be very interesting to see today, we'll see refinery utilization drop at about 8:30. We'll cover all that. Remember, tomorrow morning, we won't come to you this afternoon. I know. You'll have to check us out tomorrow morning. You can handle it. Trust me, we can do this, guys. Don't worry. It follows a 4.1 billion build last week. So I mean, the sentiment is moving towards builds. Some of that EIA data coming this morning is going to shed a little light. Do I think the bull run is out? I mean, I think crude's overextended right now. I think 45 crude is overextended from where it should be. Me and Stu, I don't want to say we're perma bears, but we were calling for $35 oil 2 weeks ago before we really saw this. We were sitting at that $40 range and we had to pick one way or the other. I was on the bear side. Looks like the market was on the bull side. And so you always want to be on the side of the market. But with oil being at the top end of the range, unless something crazy comes out, we're about to, speaking of, some of this, speaking of supply and how that could move, crude oil prices, Occidental just wins their second concession in Abu Dhabi. Abu Dhabi wants to go up, Stu, 5
Yep.
million barrels a day. There's the
Yep.
ADNOC, or the UAE National Oil Company. They just granted 2030. They want to go up to 5 million barrels. Unbelievable. 140 million Oxy spending, or 514 dirhams for 100% stake in the exploration phase on Block. What's the name of the block? They always have these fun block names. They don't give you the block name. It's just an onshore block of about 4,200 square kilometers. It's a big old block. Point is, Occidental back in the international. So there's money to be spent internationally, folks. It's not just happening onshore, or it's not just happening in the United States. People are spending. You mentioned, Stu mentioned, GIP. They're going international. Oxy's going international. Yeah, I doubt they're buying any U.S. oil fields anytime. If they ever buy a U.S. oil field, they will get shamed out of the U.S. oil business. So I promise you, if they're going to buy anything, it's going to be overseas. And this could be good. I mean, this is working with national oil companies is kind of live by the sword, die by the sword. They can be very profitable for you because they can give you exclusive rights to come in and drill, baby, drill. But then they can also, like that, say, you're gone, baby. Now, there are contracts to set up, but I think this is a good deal for Oxy. Their stock was fairly unmoved, but yeah, I don't necessarily know if this is things traders are watching for. I think there's maybe a debt issue with Oxy that people don't like. I don't know. I haven't really heard much on the news desk about any of that. A couple things. We mentioned High Peak Resources up huge. That's our SPAC that happened back in April. Good to see them pop 8. I found this, dude. This stuff just makes me laugh. These are 2 press releases, 7 hours apart, okay? Talos Energy, December 7th, announced that their borrowing base was, quote-unquote, successfully reaffirmed at its current level of $985 million following the company's semi-annual redetermination process. Talos maintained over $300 million of liquidity. President and Chief Executive Officer Timothy S. Duncan, consistent with the redetermination process in the spring, our bank group, BMO Group, who just laid off all of their Canadian bankers. So I'm not sure if we should be using them for any of this stuff. Hopefully Talos takes their business elsewhere. Because I heard some, it's Twitter, but I heard some crazy stuff about what they did. Fired over a Teams meeting, no bonuses, little severance. Oh, it's brutal. I heard and 2 weeks ago they all just had check-ins with their bosses and everything went quote unquote well. So not that, so not quite a big, a little shade thrown at BMO right now. Not biggest fans of them right now. But
that's horrible.
It is horrible. This is what's funny though. So basically this quote is, our 2020 capital program was focused on lower risk, shorter cycle projects, impact our conversation to our approved development. Basically, another one of our quotes that says how great we're doing, how much liquidity we have. No less than 8 hours later, Stu. Also have to give a shout out. The reserves are done by Netherlands Sewell & Associates. We love those guys. Less than 8 hours later, Stu. You think they have enough liquidity? Oh, they don't even think so. They decide to offer 8.2 million of shares and an additional 1.2 million shares on top of that. BMO being the sole underwriter for that offering. Even they don't think they have enough liquidity. Borrowing base redetermined, over 300 million of liquidity, and they still need more. And they're raising it as equity. Who would buy this equity? You're raising, and this means they must have somebody who they think they can do it, but you're raising oil and gas E&P upstream equity? Yikes. Double woof. But I just think it's funny how you can just read the press release. You just follow the trail of press releases. Liquidity's good. 8 hours later, we're raising more money.
You bet. I was on the phone yesterday with the president of an oil company out of Midland, and I still would take a look at
flex. Talk about a flex right there.
Oh yeah, I'll tell you what,
Stu.
Me talking to a president, and I'll tell you what, good management, good numbers. I would still buy U.S. companies as long as the numbers were there and the management. You buy the management, dude.
Well, yeah. Well, yes, you buy the rock. I'll slightly disagree with you. You buy the rock.
You can't buy the rock if you don't have the management, because there are squirrel managements out there that I would not invest in. So
well, I agree with you. It's a combination of two. It's a chicken and the egg concept. You want the egg first, you want the chicken, you want the management or the rock. And we can go back and forth. I'll lay my head on the rock. You can lay your head on the management, but both of us are in agreement. We miss anything today? I mean, it's not really happened this morning, but.
Oh no, we're getting ready for our next day, a Summit 2 with Abe. We are thrilled to just even have the best seats in the house.
Final day, check out everything Abe Energy Policy Summit Conference and Oil and Gas 360 via the world's greatest website, www.oilandgas360.com. We are wide open for webinars, people. So if you need help with your webinar, email us, mtannerentercominc.com. With that, guys, Stuart and I will see you tomorrow morning for another episode of the Energy News Beat. And with that, we'll let you get out of here. Start your day. We will see you guys tomorrow morning. And in the afternoon, if you're watching this on Closing Bell, we recorded this in the morning. See you guys.